praises alongside. And I ain't letting know. Tell the devil it ain't enough. Nah. I know what you're going through. Keep going. I'm sure if they had their way, I've been stopped. See, I can see them from a mile away. They in the cut, know how I play. Never been a fool, won't start the day. And I'ma play my part. Much is given, much required. I won't let them trick me out my place. Up, I gotta show I'm from how they play it hard. Don't know why I thought that it would change. When I came in, it's true. Once you peep the facial loans, then you're cool. The way they play the game, flaw, I never do. Stay in your place, I'm like a paw to these little dudes. And we gon' give most out of praise, he brought me through it. My mind stay like anything we could do it. We putting work up on this faith and we improve. I try to tell them I ain't new to this. First we did it, now they doing this. Sticking to the manuscript. I let they follow the blueprint. Elohim sending me did not go. Tell my enemies to step it up. Tell the devil it ain't a no. Keep on going on and on and on and on and on. I'm fighting. I'm fighting. I ain't letting no. I'm gonna keep on going on and on and on. It ain't a no. And on. Tell the devil it ain't a no. I'm fighting. Look at all that we done been through. We done overcame all that they pretend to. We don't fold, we don't bend. We knew we in due time, we would overcome. It's like a jungle sometimes. It made me wonder how I keep from going on. Can't experience our world. Most that say look up at the birds, think about it. Call them bird brain, but somehow they maintain. If I do that for them, if for you, don't you think I'ma do the same thing or more? Gratitude, grateful. He said no one gotta support you. I separate. Get two walk together, let's stay agree. Be the hand, I be the knee. Don't matter to me, get on your job, no indeed. Don't wanna hear your sob story, no indeed. Nah. Teach you how to lead this life for peace. Take the choice, best is the curse. You know we in the week, and you can't stand next to me if you pretend. Before the 12, we endure to the end. Go. I'm fighting. Yes, sir. I'm fighting. This the most going on and on and on.
Hey, shalom, 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 Shabbat, shalom, Shabbat, shalom. All praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashim, Mashak, Yahweh Shai, man. Sabbath morning brew. I hope everybody's doing well, moving in the spirit. Got the brother Shaquat in the building. What's going on, bro?
Yo, what up, man? Shalom, shalom, man. How everybody feeling this morning? You know, I'm feeling blessed. I woke up this morning, man. I get to teach this wonderful lesson. How you feeling, man?
Hey, man. The word you use is perfect. I'm feeling blessed. There's a lot of things going on in both of our lives. A lot of things going on in the world today, in the nation. You know what I'm saying? We got brothers and sisters battling with unexpected events happening in their lives. But through it all, through everything, man, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, man. I got life. I got life. You know what I'm saying? I got the essentials that we need of life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm blessed, man. Wadi Yahweh. Throw them to Wadi Yahweh's in the chat if you blessed. Throw them to Wadi Yahweh in the chat if you blessed, man. Whatever it is going on, if something is going on right, no matter if 10 things is going on wrong, if something is going on right, throw them to Wadi Yahweh's in the chat, man. To Wadi Yahweh. Matter of fact, let me my phone there. Wadi Yahweh.
Man, the Wadi Yahweh. Thank you, Lord, man. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
We all going through something. We are all going through something, and we always need brothers and sisters to help us get through what we're going through, man. Glad to be here with you today, man. Like you said, we all going through something, man. And I'm just glad to be here, man. Glad to be here. You know. So you want to get some shout outs, or let's see who in the building.
We can. Everybody will come here early in the building. Let's see who we got. We got my sister Johanna. Shalom, Ashar Shabbat, sis. Got Sister Malka in the building. These are some of the first sisters, first people, period, that come up in here usually each week. So all praise to the Most High for y'all. We got my sister Gabby in the building. I just saw you. Shalom. You staying blessed and safe and everything. Who else we got? Sister 2112. Shalom. Ashar Shabbat. You know what I'm saying? Pray the Most High God is blessing you too. Kadar Haran. First officer Kadar Haran, Shalom, Ashar Shabbat, and Seeking Truth, Wadi Yahweh, Ashar Shabbat, all praise to the Most High. Man. To everybody else who's coming in the building, who's gonna watch this video later, Ashar Shabbat. This is a great class. Are you depressed? We're dealing with depression, dealing with issues, dealing with those things that take you out of the spirit and ways to get you back in. You know what I'm saying? To keep you on the right path. I think this is one of those lessons, man, that we've all touched. That we've all been feeling depressed at one point in time.
Of course.
We all had that gorilla on your back, like the weight of bills, the weight of family, stress of your boss and your job, health issues. There's always been something, man, that's attacking you. And man, I'm telling you, we were just talking about it before we came to class. Christ dealt with so much,
man. He should be the one with the most depression out of anybody. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing we going through that he should everything that he went through, man, is completely just blows my mind, man. And he still got through everything he was going through. You know what I mean?
Hey, my precept. Matter of fact, get this up here. I get him to grab the precept real quick. Shalom. My brother don't want to say shalom to brothers, man. Nah, I know. Getting your mic together.
Shalom, sister Ashana. Shalom.
Can you guys hear me? Am I live?
There you go. Shalom. How you know that's your sis?
Shalom.
I don't know too many brothers named Oshana, man.
Me neither. Hey, let me get the book of Psalms 37 and 25.
Repeat that again, Adawan, the book of Psalms.
37 and verse 25. Let me get that real quick.
37 and verse 25. God, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 25, and it reads, I have been young and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread.
Hey, man, look, I've been young in truth, and now we're a little bit more seasoned and life in general. You know what I'm saying? But the righteous, man, ones that's believing in the Most High and trying their best, I've never seen them forsaken for the Most High. Listen, brothers go through hell, sisters go through hell. But forsaken, cast aside, and left alone, you know what I'm saying? The Most High has always been there, and that bread is also another form of wisdom and understanding, you know what I'm saying? The Most High has always given his chosen and given those who follow after him a path to success with wisdom. You can't succeed without wisdom. We can't fight depression without wisdom.
Right.
We can't overcome anything. And the ultimate wisdom is the Most High's word.
That's right. Right. So look, y'all, for everybody that's new coming in here, make sure you get, a notepad, a pen, your Bible, if you got highlighters, so you can take notes, man. And if you got any questions about anything, send us an email, or if you know us personally, send us a message, and we can definitely answer those questions for you. So today, man, I'm getting to this lesson, depression. Are you depressed? I did a lesson about depression a few months ago, but this is like a follow-up, right? Where I gave a little bit of not history, but more like details on where depression might come from. Matter of fact, I'm just going to share my screen real quick. Let me do this, and we can read this. 1 second. Where's that? Share screen. That right there. Can y'all see that? Can you see that? You need me to zoom in?
No, I can see it.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, you can zoom in. You can zoom in. Yeah, we old now. We got bad eyes nowadays.
Con. So, I'm like I said, I'm gonna be talking about this depression mainly in the Black, Hispanics, and Native American how we have depression in our communities. Kawal, can you read this right here from where it starts? Depression is
Adawan, definitely. It reads, depression is about as prevalent in Black communities as in white ones, but there are significant differences. Black people face different social pressures that may increase their risk of depression.
So it's a lot of things that we go through as, so-called Black people that keep us depressed, right? We have, there's genetics, there's biology, the environment you live in, psychologically, all different kind of things, right? Keep reading.
Although the prevalence of depression is similar between Black and white communities, suicide rates have greatly increased among Black youth over the past 20 years. This points to an emerging crisis in Black mental health.
Right. And how many people y'all know, we try to keep it PG up here. YouTube might try to take us down again, but how many of y'all know who unalived themselves because they was going through depression? They didn't have anybody to talk to.
I ain't even going to front. I know a brother, man, in this truth, you know what I'm saying, that I was pretty close to, that, it was hard to hit the news, you know what I'm saying, because of, what I thought was the brother's faith and what the brother's belief, you know what I'm saying? So even in this truth, man, when that depression is a disease, it literally is a mental health disease.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So even if you have faith and you believe and you know what I'm saying, you come into a weak point in your life, the devil take hold of you and get secure and get their fangs or you know what I'm saying? They get their hold on you, man. What's going to happen?
Don't know, man. You don't know. There's been plenty of times where, and I'm going to be transparent, been plenty of times where I just kind of balled up in my corner because I was going through whatever I was going through. And, I sat there and really boohoo cried, man. You know what I'm saying? And it happens, you know what I mean? It happens. But the thing is, just how do we get out of that, right? How do we get out of that? And that's the main thing. Go ahead and keep reading.
Black people may develop different symptoms of depression and are less likely to pursue or remain in treatment. Managing depression is essential across all communities, and finding radically sensitive treatment may be important for Black people who struggle with racial trauma and discrimination.
Read that first sentence one more time.
Black people may develop different symptoms of depression and are less likely to pursue or remain in treatment.
Now, Black people in general definitely don't like going to the doctor.
Right.
They don't like going to the dentist. You know what I'm saying? They can be damn near on their deathbed and we're like, nah, I'll be good. I don't need to go to the ER. You know what I'm saying? They damn near ain't going to go see no therapist. You know what I mean? They don't pursue what they say, less likely to pursue or remain in treatment. They don't want to go get no treatment, right? So I got this book here. I don't know if y'all can see this. Can y'all see that?
Self-care for Black men. I can't see the rest.
Self-care for Black men, right? I got this book here because it says 100 ways to heal and liberate, right? Now it goes through all different type of things, to-do lists, you know, how to breathe, how to work out, you know, your problems, you know, and it goes through little small chapters. And at the end of each chapter, there's like it's called a take action, right? And I'll give you an example. I had my nephew read a couple chapters out this book, right? Now, like I said, I'm about to be transparent a little bit. My little sister, man, hurts my heart, but my little sister got 2 kids, and she's on she's heavy into drugs, right? And long story short, she ended up choosing the drugs over her kids, which obviously affects her kids. So my little nephew, you know, he got all this hurt inside, right? So I had him read a couple chapters of this book. And these chapters only like a page, maybe 2. And at the end, one of the chapters was specifically saying, you know, write a letter to somebody that hurt you. So he ends up writing a letter. I didn't read the letter, but he writes it, right? And after like 5 minutes, it's maybe like 2 or 3 sentences, right? My point is, we as Black people go through so much stuff, and we don't want to go get help. We don't want to get treatment. We don't want to go get therapy. Right now, my nephew, he's hurting. He's trying to write what he's feeling, but he can't get it out because he don't want to express himself. Right. So I told him, I said, look, man, I understand you hurt. I've been through it. You know, my father wasn't there, so forth and so forth. But I had to go learn how to deal with it. And the way I learned how to deal with it was writing everything out. Right. So you can get it off your chest, get it off your mind, and it's there. But, you know, he told me, he's like, man, I don't like talking about my feelings. It makes me feel like a punk and you know, and we just had that conversation, right? But my point is that we don't go get treatment. We don't go try to find people to help us, right? I'm gonna scroll down some. Go ahead and read that right there. Depression is a complex illness. Cool.
All right, God. And it reads, depression is a complex illness that can affect someone's relationships, mental well-being, and physical health. Researchers have not identified a single cause that triggers this condition. Instead, several risk factors may predispose people to depression.
Right. It's going to go into some of these factors. You see, there's 4 factors that can lead you into depression, right? Go ahead and read the first one.
The first one is genetic factors. Depression seems to run in families, which suggests there might be a genetic link.
How many of y'all know that it's in your DNA for you to be depressed? Some of y'all. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I got a preset when you're done with this point.
Yeah. You know, some of y'all just be moping and looking upset, feeling upset, being in your feelings, and don't know why. It's in your DNA, right? I'm gonna show you. There's this book. It's called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, and it's by Dr. Joy DeGruy. I think that's how you say her last name. Degruy, right? Dr. Joy DeGruy, and she writes a book on how slavery. After slavery, it's embedded into our DNA to have certain traits, right? And these is one of those traits. Being depressed. You know what I'm saying? Being depressed, and you don't even know why you're depressed, right? Go ahead with your precept.
All right. First of all, Sirach 40:1, right? Go to Kowal, go to Deuteronomy 28 for me, and start at 59. But let me read this real quick. It says, great travail is created for every man, heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam from the day that they go out of their mother's womb to the day that they return to the mother of all things. So all of us, this is an inherited issue, right? That we're all going to have to deal with issues from the time of Adam's fall. We all going to have to work and struggle and fight, you know what I'm saying, like a plant coming through the soil, you know what I'm saying, to be able to grow. But go to Deuteronomy 28 real quick and start at 59.
God, it's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 59, and it reads, "Then Yahweh will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues of long continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance."
No, this is genetics. This is a genetic, you know what I'm saying, predisposed to mental health issues, to diabetes, to heart disease, to all those different things. This is a genetic factor in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because by this disobedience, we're gonna have to be predisposed to mental health issues, to depression. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just making the connection in the scriptures into what, you know what I'm saying, what we read right now. Okay.
Come on. All right, go ahead. Read the next one. Factor.
The next one is biological factors. Physical changes in the body may increase the risk of depression. Certain medications and medical conditions may alter a person's brain chemistry.
Think about that. Think about, what do they call it? After a woman has a baby?
That's called postpartum. Thank you, Adawan.
Yeah.
Postpartum, right? They go through it, man. You know, they go through it, bro. You know, physical changes, weight changes, you know, brothers and sisters be going through that, man. It's a biological thing, man. It's a biological factor that can make you go into depression. You know, you might have been, I don't know, 50 pounds lighter a year ago. And then all of a sudden you look in the mirror and you 300 pounds and you just like, damn. And you just going through all this mental stuff. And it's like, what can I do? You know, and you just in this hole and don't know how to get out of it. Right. Go ahead and read the next one. Oh, go ahead.
Sloppy. My bad. I got some stuff that was.
Hey, it's all right, man. We gonna get to the scriptures, man. I just wanna go through these, you know what I'm saying? But go ahead, bring it out.
Hey, but biological factors change, right? Stress, and I know you probably don't know this, but stress is one of the biggest things, right? You know what I'm saying? Stress can change any situation. Like you talking about postpartum, right? You can literally lose your child because of stress.
Yeah. You
can lose your life because of stress. Stress and the conditions that you deal with can change everything. You know what I'm saying? And when you fall into that place of depression where stress is going to possibly bring you to, it literally can bring you to the gates of hell, which is your condition. I'm a year. I ain't gonna pull the scripture that I was gonna pull.
No, it's all right, man. It's all right. Go ahead and read the next one, Kowal.
Environmental factors. Stress, trauma, and abuse may increase a person's risk of depression. The risk may also rise in difficult situations, such as following the loss of a job or relationship. I definitely got a precept for that one.
You know, it's the environment that you in, the people that you hang around with, the place where you live. You know, it's brothers staying in the hood, sisters staying in the hood, and just don't see no way out. You know, they stress the hell out. You know what I'm saying? They just seen somebody head get blown off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's psychologically, like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? The environments, you might have a boyfriend or a husband, God forbid, that, you know, they put their hands on you. You know what I mean? And it worked both ways. Don't just think men is the only one that do physical abuse. You know, men don't talk about it when they get beat up by that girl, but it happens. You know what I'm saying? It happens. All different type of factors, man, of your environment can definitely put you in depression. You know, go ahead, bring your piece up.
That my precept is in 2nd Esdras chapter 5 and verse 12. And that reads, at the same time shall men hope, but nothing obtained. They shall labor, but their ways shall not prosper. We're talking about environmental factors and everything, stress, trauma, the stuff that they go through and everything, like a loss of a job or a relationship. You might lose something that you felt was valuable to you. You might obtain something or whatever, but just like the scripture says, the ways will not prosper. And most of that is just due to that particular environment we are in. We've been placed in a position to where we can't necessarily prosper the way that the Most High said that we can prosper. You know what I'm saying? Because we've got all of these principalities and high powers over us that's controlling the narrative, and we can't seem to find our way up out of that. So that's my precept for that, man. You're gonna do all it is that you can possibly do to obtain, but it's all gonna be ripped away from you, and that's definitely one of those things that can cause a lot of depression and stress and things in regards to your family and your job and your well-being.
Mm-hmm. Come on, that's true, man. Go ahead and read the next one.
Psychological factors. A person's temperament, psychological makeup, and worldview may increase their risk of depression. For example, people with a negative outlook may be more vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Hey, that's hard right there.
Man,
I tend to get into that at times, man, having a negative outlook in the midst of a hard situation.
I think we all have been there, man. For example, right? Like it said, for example, people with a negative outlook may be more vulnerable. You can be going through something, I don't know, your car breakdown. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't got the money to go fix it. Now you stressed out about, damn, how am I gonna get to work? I can't pay for an Uber, I can't pay for a Lyft. I'm definitely not about to walk. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
you just completely stressed out and you don't know what to do. So you have a complete breakdown. You know what I'm saying? You like I said, there's been times where I've sat in my corner and just boohoo cried. You know what I mean? Because I had a mental breakdown, a psychological breakdown, man. There's some people call it a midlife crisis, right? But it happens. People don't even realize that they're depressed or they're stressed out because of the circumstances that they're used to being around. Like I said, their environment. Who you with, who you hang around with. And they say the closest 5 friends that you hang out with determines who you gonna be.
Right.
If your 5 friends are straight bums, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna be a bum. If your friends are all successful and they quote unquote wealthy, making money, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna be the same way. Right? So it's many factors to being depressed, man, and or I should say, it's many factors on things that you go through that make you depressed, right?
Hey,
go ahead, man, bring it.
Okay, so I don't want to touch too much, but I want to touch on anxiety too, the unknown, the unknown, the thing that, like, when you don't know when the next paycheck is coming in, you don't know what the a medical prescription or might do to you, or what a procedure might cause you, or what you lose from a loss of something. You know what I'm saying? The unknown can bring you anxiety. You know what I'm saying? You having children and you don't know how you're gonna pay X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? All of those things to be anxious lead you right to the path of depression. And in the middle of that, sometimes what we also do, dealing with psychological factors, what we also do, a person's temperament is also anger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna get
real
in that.
easy. Yeah, so I ain't gonna hold it. I just wanted to anxiety, depression, these things go hand in hand, as the sister says, man. They really go hand in hand, not knowing what the future holds. That's why it's important. The Bible talks about faith so much. It talks about having faith, right, and hope and trust, and to combat the anxiety that we know that we have to go through to be able to make it through, because we don't tangibly have, you know what I'm saying, Christ with you today showing you miracles. You gotta believe of something 2,000 years ago, plus years ago. You know what I'm saying? You know, have faith in what the Most High promised to do in the future in our lives. But right now, I don't know how I'm gonna make it to work tomorrow. Right now, I don't know what I'm gonna eat today. Right now, I don't know what this medicine doctor gave me is gonna do to me. You know, so to combat a lot of these things, man, it comes back to the scriptures. It goes back to faith, and it be hard sometimes. But I'm a go ahead.
Qual, give me 2 Corinthians 13:5. You know, when we going through all this stuff, man, we have to really look at the situation that we in and examine ourselves, right? Go ahead and read that.
It's the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5, and it reads, "Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves that Hamashiach Yahushai is in you, except ye be reprobates."
Right. Sometimes when we in these depression modes, man, we feel worthless, right? We feel like the world is on our shoulders. You know what I'm saying? But we have to examine ourselves, look at the situation and see, why am I feeling this way? Why am I going through this? Right? Is it something I did? Is it something somebody else did? You know, just look at the whole entire situation and examine it. You know, get me Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 9. Trying to put these precepts in the chat as well, so people can go back and look at them. Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9, right? Yep.
Guys, the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 9, and it reads, "Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor."
God. So it say 2 is better than 1, right? Now, the reason why I brought that out is because when you're going through something, you're going to need somebody to talk to, right? You cannot hold this stuff in, because ultimately you might end up hurting yourself, right? You got to talk to somebody. They're going to give you sound advice. That's why in Sirach, I can't remember exactly where it says or what scripture it is, but it says you got to be around godly men. That's just not talking about relationships. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about your brothers, your sisters. You got to be around people that's going to help you keep these commandments, keep you straight on the straight and narrow path, right? Read that again, verse 9.
Verse 9, "Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor." Verse 10, "For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he have not another to help him up."
So you're falling. You know what I'm saying? If you're falling, that brother's going to sit here and lift you up. Like I said, give you sound advice. That sister's going to tell you, hey, this is what you need to do to get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit here and go through the stuff by yourself. You just can't do it. Right? Because if you're going to sit here and be doing this, be moping and doing all that stuff, some people don't get out of that phase, man.
Right.
They need brothers and sisters to help lift them up. You know? Give me say it again.
Sirach 37 and 12.
Con. You want to read that real quick? Get that real quick, Walls. All right.
Wow.
37 and 12.
Guys, the book of Sirach, chapter 37, and starting to verse 12, and it reads, "But be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of Yahweh, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry."
Come on, man. So when you're going through something, man, you call that godly man or that godly sister, right? And they gonna lead you in that right direction on how to get you out of your situation that you in through the scriptures. This is how we live our life. We live our life according to our culture, right? So we have to go back and look at, excuse me, we have to go back. We got to go back and look how our ancestors dealt with these situations. The only way we're going to know is if we go and look at the scriptures, man. All right. Give me Proverbs 11 and 14.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 11, and verse 14. And it reads, "Where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety."
You got to receive counsel from someone you trust, right? Don't just go be telling your business to everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't be going to tell your business to everybody, man. If you have, like I said, if you have no counsel, man, things can get worse for you. You might be like other people and again, hurt yourself, hurt somebody else because you so upset. You know what I'm saying? Because you mad at the world for whatever reason. Depression plays a lot into how we think, how we operate, just psychologically. It's like we read earlier, man. Your environment, your DNA, you know, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Give me.
When we tend to get into that place too, we tend to make bad decisions. We tend to make bad decisions when we in the place of anxiety, in a place of depression, in a situation where we lonely or we separate ourselves from other people and we don't get that type of counsel. You know what I'm saying? From people we can trust. We tend to make bad decisions. We lean on our own understanding on how we feel in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And if you're in a place of depression, you know what I'm saying, you already have a disorder. You're dealing with the spirit. So if you're making a decision dealing with a spirit that's not of the Most High Spirit dealing with light, but a spirit on the left-hand side, it's a great chance to make a bad decision moving forward. I just love that.
God. You know, I mean, as always, you know, y'all got input, y'all got precepts, and let's bring it out. Because, you know, I don't like to be on here too long, man.
hey, listen, you don't want me to pull out precepts. Don't do that.
Hey, you know, my lessons be short, man, about an hour long. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you know, if the spirit.
Hey, let me get Sirach. Let me get Sirach 30 and 21. Nah,
hey, there it is, man. There it is.
I need that.
Crazy. Oh man.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 21. And that reads, "Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel."
You probably had that somewhere, didn't you?
Nah, nope. Go
ahead. Listen, your mind to get heavy. You understand? Your mind is your heart, right? What the Bible calls heart. You know what I'm saying? The heart, literally, as heart is an organ, that's the blood. But you know what? The mind moves. What's the word I want to use? It sends signals throughout your whole body. You know what I'm saying? It's the heart of your senses. You know what I'm saying? It tells everything what's going on. You smell something, it goes to your mind.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? You see something, it goes to your mind, and you perceive it or interpret it. So the stress that you're dealing with, or the anxiety, or whatever it is, it's going here first.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Just give your mind over to heaviness. You know what I'm saying? The lack of ever, or the stress from whoever, can make you heavy. You know what I'm saying? But don't afflict yourself in your own counsel, in your own thoughts, because all it's going to do is make you lower.
That's right.
I hold the rest. You got it.
God. Get Proverbs 19 and 20. This is kind of just reinforcing everything that I'm saying, you know. Proverbs 19 and 20.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 19 and 20, and it reads, "Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end."
Just like Aharon said, man, when you in this state of mind or state of being, you might make some terrible decisions. You know what I'm saying? And this is why, like I said, we go back and we look at the scriptures, the proverbs, the stories. You know how our ancestors went through these things and how they dealt with them. Right. So it says, "Get counsel, hear counsel, and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end," right? You go get counsel, and when you get out of that situation through the counsel, you can see clear, right? You're not going to be making any bad decisions. You know what I'm saying? Give me Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 26.
Guys, the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, and you said verse 26 out of 1?
Come.
God, and that reads, be ye angry, and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
Right. So when you're in that state of mind, like, it's a lot of things, man, that can have you go completely off, especially if you're not getting the counsel, right? It's a lot of things that'll make you upset. You might be upset at whoever it may be, or whatever the situation is, and you can go and cross that line and end up hurting somebody, right? Hurting yourself again. You see what I'm saying? So I brought this out because it's telling us, you know, to be angry, but don't go sin, man. Right? And we all know sin is breaking God's laws, you know, from Genesis to Deuteronomy. Right? Don't go sin, man. Keep reading.
Yeah, there's more meat on that bone, out of 1. And it reads 27, neither give place to the devil.
Don't give place to the devil, man. Don't let this deceiver keep deceiving you and telling you, oh, you can do that. You can do this. You can do that. Right? Like what did Satan tell Christ in Matthew 4? If you worship me, I'll give you all the kingdoms. Right? Satan can be in your ear. Huh?
Yeah. No, you're right.
Right? Satan can be in your ear, man. Both ears. And have you doing some crazy stuff.
And then when you look back on it, you're sitting there like, yo, what the heck was I thinking?
Exactly.
And by that time, it's too late. You already committed a sin, man, and you got to battle your way out of it.
Man, I'm telling you, believe me, I know. Trust me. Jump to verse 28.
Verse 28. Let him that stole steal no more, but rather let him labor, working with his hands the thing which is good, that he may have to give to him that needeth.
Con, that's not what I wanted, but read it one more time. I'll break it down.
Con, let him that stole steal no more, but rather let him labor, working with his hands the thing which is good, that he may have to give to him that needeth.
Right, that goes into sinning, right? Again, it says right here, you know, let him that stole steal no more, right? If you angry about not having food in the house, it's telling you not to go steal, right? To go work for that food. You know what I'm saying? Put your hands in, use your hands for the labor, so you make sure you have food in your refrigerator, right? That wasn't the scripture I wanted to end on, but it's okay. Right now, we're talking about.
But the important thing that you mentioned, like sin no more.
Right.
We can't stay in that place. You know, we all fall short. Man, righteous man falleth 7 times, right? We can't stay in that place. You know what I'm saying? Especially what did you bring out earlier? First, examining yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got to constantly examine yourself, right? Shoot, I do it all the time. It's not like brothers don't mess up or brothers don't trip up and fall, but we got to constantly make corrections. Most correcting us all the time. So you know what I'm saying? We got to make corrections too. So that scripture is good because it's saying, you know what I'm saying? It's talking about stealing, but the bigger point, like you brought out, talking about sinning.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get mad, when we get angry, don't continue to be angry. Don't continue to be anxious. Don't continue to allow the devil to have his way. Don't continue to be deceived, to be in the place of depression, the place that can move you away from the Most High God's glory and mercy. You know what I'm saying? Every day we thankful for the Most High God's mercy. What we depressed for? I mean, depressed for what? Every day, you know what I'm saying? He putting food on your table, got a roof over your head, you got clothes on your back. You got the essential needs as a man, woman, and child on this earth. Majority of us, you got internet.
Right.
Right. You ain't smoke cigarettes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you got brothers and sisters that you can talk to. You know what I'm saying? If you need to, and get counsel.
Mm-hmm.
Get help. Right. You know what I mean? So in the middle of all of that, man, we can't stay in that place that the deceiver bring us to. Mm-hmm. But I think that was an important point. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
Yeah, con. Get Matthew 26, and we'll start at 39. Right?
I'll get there real quick, Adawan. I do have a precept to back up Adawan Aharon's point. The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1, classic. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Gather yourselves together. Get with your people. Sit down and talk with somebody. Allow those problems and things that you actually have to be revealed so that the healing process can actually happen. That way, you're not going to make any crazy decisions and put yourself in a salvific issue. You know what I'm saying? The point of depression is to put you in a place to where you make a decision that'll put you in a salvific issue, and now you've got to figure out how to get out of it. And then you have to get counsel for that. Instead, before you get there and you're feeling that spirit come onto you, gather yourselves together with your people and talk with those people that have the experience in those areas that have been in the scriptures, and they're talking the right things because they're practicing the law, statutes, and commandments and having faith in the Mashiach Yahushua. I yield.
Matthew 26 and 39. Now, if a person needed to be depressed, Christ is the one that needed to be depressed. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff he knew was going to happen to him, right? And he didn't want it to happen. He actually prayed to be like, look, if you can take this away from me, man, please take it away. But if it's your will, then I'll do it. But if not, man, let me slide from this. You know what I mean? Go ahead and read that.
God, it's the book of Matthew chapter 26 and starting at verse 39, and it reads, and he went a little farther and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt.
He did not want to go through what he was about to go through. Right? He did not want to go through what he was about to go through. He knew what was about to happen. So if anybody needed to be depressed, this man right here, our big bro, should have been depressed. Right? But he kept fighting through, man. You know what I'm saying? He kept fighting through. Keep reading.
Verse 40. And he cometh into the disciples and findeth them asleep, and saith unto Peter, what, could ye not watch with me 1 hour?
Con, these brothers couldn't sit here and watch him pray and watch his back for an hour, man. He asked them, if you read the story, he asked them, hey, I need y'all to watch over me. You know what I'm saying? There's some people coming to get me. You know what I mean? And they couldn't sit there and do it, Right? Keep reading.
Gone. Verse 42. Verse 41. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Keep it. Keep reading.
He went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done.
Now, again, we need to take this example and see how Christ got through this, right? And figure out how we need to be like Christ. You see what I'm saying? We need to figure out how he's supposed to be the example that we follow anyway. Mm-hmm. So when we going through something, what did he do? He prayed to the Father. Right? He prayed to the Father. Hey, I know this is your will, but if you can let me pass through this, you know what I'm saying? But if not, then I'm going to go through it and we're going to get this thing done. Mm-hmm. Right? He prayed to the Father, man. And that's what we need to do. We got to pray to the Father through Christ, right? Through Christ. Can nobody get to the Father but through him, right? You got something to say? I see something. I see the wheels turning. Aaron.
We gotta. All right. So first of all, right, there's no temptation or things that we go through that's not common to men, right? Go to Isaiah 53 and 3. I ain't gonna try to drag this, but there's a couple of this. Christ knew the scriptures. Christ went to the book of Isaiah, found the place, and taught in the synagogues the gospel. Christ knew the scriptures because what? The scriptures was up. You know what I'm saying? He knew that he had to come and fulfill. What does he have to fulfill? Prophecies. You know what I mean? And this is one of those things that he had to fulfill. Start at verse 3 for me.
God, this is the book of Isaiah chapter 53 and starting at verse 3. He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we hid as it were our faces from him. He was despised and we esteemed him not.
So one of the prophecies, man, is you're going to be despised. People are going to hate you. And your brothers and the people that around you are going to hid their faces from, hey, listen, Peter denied Christ.
Right.
Right? Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The rock of the church. Continue to read on that.
God, verse 4. Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of Yahweh, and afflicted.
He got to carry our burdens. Christ had to carry, he's still carrying our burdens. That cross was a burden that he had to carry, man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 5. But he was wounded for our transgressions.
When did Christ sin? When did Christ transgress? He didn't do that, but he was wounded for our transgressions and our sins, man. Like you said, man, if anybody needed to have the ability or it should have been Christ, right? Go ahead, hit some on that.
God, he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed.
Because he did what he did and stood tall and stood bold and fought that spirit of depression, fought the devil in the wilderness, fought everything that tried to take him out of his position and his purpose. We have a chance of being healed at the end of the day. Hit verse 7 and one more verse number you.
What's that verse again? Adawan, you broke up a bit.
Hit verse 7 in that same chapter.
God, verse 7. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is what we do a lot of.
I've been examining myself, and I'm in a place where, dang, why this ain't working like how I want it to? Why this ain't doing how I want it to do? You know what I'm saying? The scripture says, man, he opened out his mouth. He went to the Father. He didn't go to his brother and be like, yo, I don't like these Romans. Yo, Peter, yo, you want to, man, what's up? You know what I'm saying? he ain't go to Judas and be like, yo, you know, I'm about to take you out because I know what you about. He ain't do all of that. You know what I'm saying? He went to the Father and said, let your will be done. And if I got this, I'm gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
God. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb. So he opened not his mouth.
Yo, he had to be brought to get killed. The lamb get killed to cover up, like I in Passover, put the blood on our doorpost, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna read this in my slide, right? Luke 9:58. It says, and Yahweh said unto him, foxes have holes and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man have nowhere to lay his head. Like, I'm dying for you, and I don't even have a place to sleep. I don't have a crib. I gotta go and stay at people's houses. Like my feet are dirty. I'm washing your feet. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yo, they mad when the woman poured oil on his feet.
They was trying to sell the oil.
Right.
They want to sell oil. Like, yo, she preparing me for my death. Y'all don't understand what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? Like Christ went through. Yeah, but go ahead. I get it.
That's wild, man. You know, like I said, man, we got to be like Christ, man. We're going to go through tribulations and trials and stuff like that. But we see the perfect example, right? Give me John 16:33.
John 16:33. And real quick, before we go there, just to even put emphasis on that, Adewanium, I'm going to read Luke chapter 22 and verse 44. We're talking about Christ here, right? And what he had to go through and him having every right to be depressed. Watch this. Verse 44. And being in agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was as it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground. Can you imagine that? That's heavy. Like, your sweat is like drops of blood falling to the ground. What?
Damn.
Come on, man. Come on. So yes, he had every right, but he still went and bared that cross so that we could be saved from our sins, right?
That's right.
The book of John chapter 16, and what verse again was that, Adawan?
33.
Verse 33, and it reads, these things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world.
Come on, right? Coming in this walk, learning who you are in the Bible, following these statutes, laws, and commandments, you're going to go through these tribulations, man. You know, I was telling somebody the other day, like, man, I see all my friends growing up that I grew up with, you know, it just seems like they flourishing, you know, and they don't even believe in God. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting here trying to keep these statutes, laws, and commandments, and I'm going through all this stuff. You know, I'm depressed. I'm just going through a lot of things, right? But Christ said, in the world, ye shall have tribulation. That's the tribulation that we go through, man. Like I said, this lesson it's about depression and how we can get out of it, right? And what we need to do in order to get through it, right? Then he says, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. If Christ is an example of what we are supposed to follow, and he went through all the stuff he went through, the depression that he could have been in, we should be able to get through that. The stuff that we going through. You see what I'm saying? So I'm about to jump ship a little bit, right? So this is one of the things that when you're going through when you're going through depression, you can become lazy. Right? You can become lazy. I'm about to hit a couple different topics of things that you go through when you're lazy, right? I mean, when you're going through depression. You can become lazy or procrastinate about everything, right? Get Proverbs 13:4. Right? I sent somebody this scripture this week because they was talking about they have so many goals, but they just be procrastinating, right?
God, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 4, and it reads, "The soul of the sluggard desireth, and hath nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat."
Right. So when you just going through this state of mind, sometimes you feel like, man, I don't feel like doing nothing. I just want to lay in the bed all day. I want to be in my corner. I don't want to deal with nobody, right? But you can't be sluggard, man. You can't be lazy. You can't procrastinate things, especially like me. I own a business, right? Y'all know the smooth like butters.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
The shameless plug, cheap plug, right? There's days where I don't feel like making no butters. You know what I'm saying? I'll be going through what I'm going through, and I just want to come home after work and just chill. But I know if I don't make them butters, I ain't gonna make no money. Right? It say the soul of the sluggard desires and have nothing. Man, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. That type of spirit. You know what I'm saying? Then it say, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. Right? If I'm diligent in taking my little steps to make my business greater, at some point, y'all gonna see me on Shark Tank. You know what I'm saying? Y'all really gonna say, "Oh, that's the richest brother in Israel." You know what I'm saying? Don't listen to them, y'all. I'm broke. Don't listen to them, man. Don't listen. I'm broke, man. Right? So my point is, man, just you, even though you're going through the depression or the stuff you're going through, man, you still got to stay focused. You still got to take them little steps to achieve what you need to achieve. You know what I'm saying? Give me Proverbs 21-25.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 25, and it reads, "The desire of the slothful killeth him, for his hands refuse to labor."
The slothful, man, being slothful during this time is going to put you in a deep slumber, right? A deep sleep. Now you you got the curtains closed. Somebody come open the curtains just like you're a vampire. You don't want the sun hitting you in the face. You know what I'm saying? Turn the lights off. Right? You being sluggish, man, because you in this state of mind. That's why I said earlier that you have to have people to talk to. You got to go to the scriptures to get you out of that situation, man.
That's right.
Y'all got something? Anybody got something?
I got something out of one. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 10. And that reads, "Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man." Got to be careful with that lazy spirit, man. Depression can drive you there, of course. That's why you have to get with your people. You have to get your counsel, and you got to get back on that horse and rock out, man. Don't get lazy in this thing. The Most High is not going to reward any laziness. He's not. It's all throughout the Bible, really all throughout Proverbs, damn near. It talks about having a slothful spirit. You got to come up out of that. You got to come up out of that depression. These are the things that we're giving to you because we love y'all. We don't want y'all to be in that spirit. And we have the power to make Israel prosper just by being the example. You know what I'm saying? We don't have time to be slothful. Let's get this work.
Khan, you got something on Haran?
I don't want to drag too much, man. Grab
Go
me
ahead, man.
9 and 10.
What was that?
Ecclesiastes 9 and 10 and Sirach 43 and 30. Sirach 43 and 30. I just that's always on my mind. Ecclesiastes 9 and 10.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 10, and it reads, "Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might, for there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave whither thou goest."
Hey, listen, man. A lot of times, the grave is a mental state. It's a spiritual state. It's a state of being. Yeah, it's death. It's actually your body died. But it's also a state of being. If you're in a state of depression, you know what I'm saying? What's the difference between that, falling deeper into that, and being part of the valley of the dry bone? You know what I'm saying? So what does it say, man? Whatever thy hand findeth to do, do with all thy might, for there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom. You come out of that without knowledge and wisdom of the Most High.
Right.
There's none of that in that depressive state. Now, let me get that Sirach 43 and 30. Matter of fact, I can read it myself. It says, when you glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as you can, but even yet he will far exceed. And when you exalt him, put forth all your strength, be not weary, for you can never go far enough. Why do I put that scripture out? You're not glorifying the Lord laying down. You're not glorifying the Lord giving up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could just, man, I feel like Most High ain't dealing with me. Well, he not if you're going to sit there and say that and feel like that. If you're going to continue to feel like that, you don't want to pray. You don't want to read. You don't want to give him glory and thank. Well, you're not giving him glory. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to come out of that lower state, and we know, according to 1 Samuel, that he can bring you out of the dust and out of the dunghill. Right? You know what I'm saying? And you got to glorify the Lord as much as you can. You can never go far enough in giving him honor, praise, and glory always and forever. I yield on that though.
Come on. Yeah, man. Get Sirach 42 and 7. This is a problem that we have just as a people in general. You know, we say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, and it's all in our head, right? Go ahead and read that real quick.
God, it's the book of Sirach, chapter 42 and verse 7. And it reads, "Deliver all things in number and weight, and put all in writing that thou givest out or receivest in."
A lot of reasons why we be depressed and we not achieving the goals that we're trying to achieve, and we looking at everybody else, is because we not writing everything down. Right? And I've had that problem for a long time. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm super ADD, right? I will sit here and start reading or writing the lesson down. 2 seconds later, I'm doing something else. You know what I'm saying? I'm super ADD, right? But I've learned over time that if I want to achieve something, I have to write it down step by step, or at least like a to-do list. When I wake up in the morning, I write down what I need to do, and I just check it off as I go, right? We have that issue of not doing that. We keeping everything in our heads. And then we figure out a week, 2 weeks, a month later, damn, I got all this stuff I want to do, but I'm not achieving anything. So now I'm about to go in my little corner because I feel sorry for myself. And I'm about to sit here and boo-hoo cry because nothing's getting done. Right? Read verse 8.
God, verse 8. "Be not ashamed to inform the unwise and foolish, and the extreme age that contendeth with those that are young. Thus shalt thou be truly learned and approved of all men living."
Right? So don't be ashamed to go and tell somebody your ideas, because they might be able to help you achieve your ideas. Right? It can be somebody younger, somebody older, especially now. These young people, man. I mean, I'm young, we young, you know what I'm saying? But y'all get what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, you know, all praise to the Most High. It is if it's His will, I'll make it to next month where I turn 42 years old, man. I know,
Okay.
I know, man. I know I look young, man. Right? Right? I know I look young, but you know, my point is, you know, have some goals, man, and write that stuff down. You know, whether it's like financial goals, whether it's, you know, fitness goals, if it's marriage goals.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I seen this TikTok post not too long ago where this married couple, they had financial meetings every quarter. They wrote goals out every quarter. All right, this is how much we need to save. This is how much we need to put in investments. This is how much we need to put away to go take this vacation. Right? It's like they had business meetings. This is the stuff that we need to do so we can stay on top of our stuff and we don't go into that depression. If you constantly busy and hitting your goals, there should be no reason why you should be depressed. Right? There should be no reason. Doing everything that you want to do. Right? Give me anybody got something to say on that?
Yeah, I got something. The book of what is it? Yeah, the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 2, and that reads, "And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it." Nothing wrong with writing down ideas. Nothing wrong with putting it in front of your face so that you can see it. It could be your own personalized vision board or whatever the case may be. Whatever plans it is that you've got, write it down so that it's always in front of your face. It's a constant reminder. I got to do this. I got to do this. And I got to keep that focused on that one particular thing. And until I accomplish it, that thing can't come up off of that list. Con?
And it's also so you don't feel overwhelmed. There's been plenty of times where I'm like, damn, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do that. And I don't get nothing done because I don't see it visually. It's all in my head. And like I said, man, then you start, well, damn, man, I ain't getting nothing done. What am I going to do? This bill coming up, that bill coming up, all because you didn't write it down and you didn't do the checklist, man. Right? Get me Proverbs 22 and 29.
Proverbs chapter 22 and starting at verse 29. And that reads, "Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men."
Come on, read that one more time, my brother.
God, seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men.
So if you about your business and you doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to be around people that have the same ideology as you, right? If you about business, you should be hanging around people that's about business. If you about this word, you need to be hanging around people about this word, right? You're going to be at the table, right? You're going to be at the table sitting with, what they say, kings, and you're not going to be around mean men, meaning average people. Remember I said earlier, your closest 5 friends determine who you going to be. If your friends is bums smoking weed all day, that's what 9 times out of 10 you're going to be the same way. Average men, right? If you around people that stay in the scriptures, that keep these statutes, laws, and commandments, around sisters that do the same thing, you're gonna be 9 times out of 10 you're gonna be that way as well, right? Give me Luke chapter 12 and verse 42. Right, we supposed to be people that's gonna judge the world at some point, right? Luke chapter 12 verse 42.
This is the book of Luke chapter 12 and verse 42. And the Lord said, who then is that faithful and wise steward whom his Lord shall make ruler over his household to give them their portion of meat in due season?
God, how is the Most High gonna use you if you lazy? If you always moping?
Right.
He can't use you, man. He needs you to be out here waking up these lost sheep. He needs you to be out here showing people how to keep the commandments, how to love God, how to love Christ, how to love your brother, your wife, your sister. Right? You got to stop moping, man. You got to get out of this feeling down about yourself and being depressed. Right? I know this sounds like a motivational speech, but it's the truth. You got too many brothers and too many sisters out here that you can call to help you get out of the mind state that you in, to help you get you out of the situation that you in. Mm-hmm. And if they don't want to help you, they ain't your brother and sister, man. Them ain't the people you need to be calling. You know, whenever I'm going through something, I always call Aharon. You know what I'm saying? And he give me the hey man, I always call Aharon. You know, he give me the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. He tell me when I'm going off. He tell me when I'm doing right, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all ain't got nobody to talk to, get a hold of Aharon. He'll talk to you.
Oh man,
don't call me. Call Aharon.
Let me grab a precept, man. Kawal, you still there?
Yes, sir.
Your screen froze up. Let me get Romans 12 and 9. Let's read that down to 30. You had that ready, Shaquan?
Nah.
I think that goes with what we talking about right here.
Romans 12 and what?
9 down to 13.
God. This is the book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 9, and it reads, let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good.
This is what you're talking about, God.
Be kindly affection one to another with brotherly love, in honor, preferring one another.
That's what you were just talking about, right? Being there for one another. You know what I'm saying? We kind of talked about that earlier, and going back into what you were just talking about being slothful. Go ahead.
Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving Yahweh.
Yo, not slothful in business and fervent in spirit. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be focused strictly on business without moving in spirit. You know what I'm saying? And you can't be feeling like you in the spirit and not handling business.
Right.
You know what I mean? But go ahead.
God. Rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation. There's that word again, patient. Continuing instant in prayer.
Hey, first of all, you rejoicing in hope, right? You hoping that everything's gonna be okay. Because once you fall in that dark place, you're not dealing with hope.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Rejoicing in the hope that the most I'm not gonna overexpose myself. But what I see though, what I've really been seeing lately is that every bit of light that comes your way, you need to grab onto.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, we used to be at camp and the wind would blow like the Wadi Yahweh. The Wadi Yahweh, for the wind would blow on a hot sunny day. The Wadi Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? So every little grain of green, every little thing that happens that's good in your life, man, hold to that. Because it's too much darkness in this world. So let's hold to that light. Let's rejoice in that hope. But it say patience, what Kawal mightily brought out, patience in your tribulation, man. Yo, listen, that's something I'm working on every single day. In the middle of your tribulation, are you patient? Or you can't wait till something you anxious because you don't know. Is it easy to fall into depression, or you being patient dealing with your situation?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Genuine instant in prayer. Are we praying for one another? Are we thanking the Most High? Are we leaning on Him enough? You know what I'm saying? And hit that 13, because this is what I was talking also about, me and you talking to each other and being there for one another. Hit that 13.
Verse 13. Distributing to the necessity of saints, given to hospitality.
Oh, so what is it saying, right? Being there for one another when they need it. You know what I'm saying? These brothers, we all striving to be saints. Anointed House of Saints, we all strive to be saints at the end of the day. And if I let you fall, you my brother. I'm your brother's keeper. Shoot, I messed up. I messed up if I let you fall. So if you call me and I don't answer, I call you, man. We gotta talk it out. We gotta figure something out. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we all know. I lean on Judah. I lean on Y'all call me a couple times a week. Just like all he want to know is, am I okay? Like, are you okay? You know what I'm saying? And I love that. Because that's a form of hospitality, just being there. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we all need. You know what I'm saying? When you brought up Ecclesiastes, that 9 earlier. You know what I'm saying? Can't be by ourselves, man.
That's right.
But I yield on that.
Come. You already brought that scripture out, Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. Get Sirach chapter 30 and verse 23. Sirach 30 and 23. All right. So with us, like I said, I'm gonna hit a couple different points on depression and how it affects us, right? Sirach 30 and 23.
God. The book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 23. Love thine own soul and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein.
So look,
hey, can you hit 22 though?
God.
Actually, start at 21.
God, we actually just covered that one too, as a matter of fact.
Hit it again.
The book of Sirach, chapter 30, verses 21. Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel. The gladness of thy heart is the life of man, and the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days. Love thine own soul, and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein.
Yo, verse 22, man. It said the gladness of the heart is the life of man. Yo, when I'm happy, everything's going good. You know, I'm talking to my brothers, my household is good, my job is right. I'm the happiest brother on the planet. I feel rich. Right? I feel wealthy. You know what I'm saying? Right? And then say, huh?
My brother Rich.
Man, let him tell it. Let him tell it, man. But and the joyfulness of a man prolonging his days, man. I'm trying to live a long time so I can give as much wisdom as I can.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be stressed out all day. You know, someone told me one day that you shouldn't stress if it's out of your control. And I'm like, that makes so much sense. But being me, and I'm pretty sure being you guys, even though it's out of our control, like we still gonna stress about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that if it happened to me, it happened to somebody out there too, right? You get paid, you pay all the bills, right? You think you covered everything, and then all of a sudden, all this automatic payment just come out of nowhere and put you in a negative. And now you can't do what you was planning to do, or you can't pay a certain bill. You know what I'm saying? Now you stressed out, like, damn, I need to get this money. Right? Like I said, man, when everything's correct, man, you're the happiest person on the planet, right? Read 23 again.
Verse 23. Love thine own soul and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow have killed many, and there is no profit therein.
Con, it's a love thine own soul. How many of y'all been on vacation this year?
Mm.
How many of y'all just took the weekend, turned everything off, and just said, I just need to focus on me, focus on my mindset, right? How many of y'all have done a reset? How many of y'all have just loved yourself, right? Because if I'm not happy, my household ain't going to be happy, right? I'm going to be cussing everybody out in the house. You know what I'm saying? You can tell as soon as I walk in the house, oh, something wrong with him, right?
Hey, sometimes we gotta figure out how to love ourselves.
That's true. We don't love ourselves.
Mm.
A lot of us don't know how to do that. And you have to be taught how to love yourself, man. And with me, like I said, I got ADD, right? So even when I'm trying to just be at peace by myself, my mind is running, a million miles a second. Yeah, I got to do this. I got to do that. Got to do that. Dang, what's going on I don't know, social media? What's going on in Clubhouse? What's going on this? Going on that? Right? We have to go and try to take time for ourselves to love ourselves, man. Right? Then it says, remove sorrow far from thee. How many people like I said earlier, committed suicide because they self-depressed, because they going through whatever they going through, or they end up hurting somebody, right? How many people has gotten so drunk because they depressed? They trying to drink their problems away, right? Got so drunk they end up getting in an accident and killing somebody else, hurting somebody else, right? Because they're going through something in their household, they're going through something at their job, right? How many people turn to drugs? Right?
The bottle,
right? What's the fentanyl and meth and whatever else.
and he went to the hard drugs.
Hey, man, you go hard or go home, man.
No, go home. Go home.
Right.
You go hard or go home, man. It say remove the sorrow. Remove the sorrow far from thee. And that's what you need to do, man. Take time to love yourself. Take time to love yourself, man. Read verse 24.
I lost my place out of one. What was it again?
Sirach 30 and 24.
30, 24. God. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 24. And it reads, envy and wrath shorten the life.
Now, isn't that what we do? We envy each other, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We hate each other. We worried about what you doing. You seeing, oh damn, he got the big 24s on the new Escalade, right? Dang, he got the Tesla. Why can't I get the Tesla? What's going on with me? Now you in deep thought. Now you worried about the next man's pockets. You know what I'm saying? You worried about the next man's pockets when you got to get your stuff together. You know what I mean?
Got private swimming pools and stuff. You know what I mean? Hey, look, man.
Don't listen to him, man. He don't know what he's talking about. Oh man. Keep reading. Or read it again. 24.
God, envy and wrath shorten the life, and carefulness bringeth age before the time.
Right? we so worried about what everybody else doing, man. We you so worried that eventually, man, your looks is gonna start making you look older because you worried about everybody else. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures is they tell us we gotta love ourselves, right? We gotta have a merry heart, right? A happy heart. You know what I'm saying? We got to congregate with our people. We got to call our people when we're going through something. You know what I'm saying? It's all we got to do is just go back to what our ancestors was doing.
Right.
Going back to the foundation. Reading what the Most High wants us to do. Keeping the statutes, laws, and commandments so we can be prosperous. Right? Give me real quick 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 7.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 7, and it reads, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you.
God. That's 1 Peter 5 and 7.
God.
Yeah,
1 Peter 5 and 7.
Read that again, Slocky.
God. Casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you.
Right? So, and that's what we forget to do. We be so stressed out that we forget to put everything in the Lord's hands.
Mm.
Right? We forget to do that. You know what they say? What's that saying? Jesus, take the wheel. Right? We talk about that with like Christians, but that's some real stuff. Like we go through all this stuff and we forget to be like, yo, Yahweh, take the wheel, man. I need you to take control of this situation. Right? Give me Lamentations chapter 3. We're gonna start at verse 6. But I'm writing the scriptures in the thing. Lamentations chapter 3. You know, and when I read this right here, man, and I'm not even going front. When I read this, it really hits me, man, because well, let's just read it. Start at verse 6.
God, this is the book of Lamentations chapter 3 and verse 6, and it reads, he hath set me in dark places as they that be dead of old.
And it feels like that, right? It feels like the Most High just putting you in these places, man. You trying to do everything that's right, and you just keep messing up, right? So it feels like he kind of puts you to the side a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Read.
Verse 7, he hath hedged me about that I cannot get out. He hath made my chain heavy.
And it feel like he made yourself like you just can't get out of the situation that you in. It feel like your body is just grounded. I mean, held to the ground because the situation feels so heavy, right? Read.
Verse 8, also when I cry and shout, he shutteth out my prayer.
And when you pray, it just feel like
He ain't hearing you right now.
He ain't.
Been there.
Yeah. We all have, man. We all
Yeah.
have it.
It just feel like he ain't listening. My bad, y'all.
Good out of wine. I understand.
Hey, but we understand that the Most High has an expected end for us, and that end is of peace. You know what I'm saying? The Most High hears everything, and he sees everything. You know what I'm saying? He knows what you're going through, but he's not going to give you more than you can bear. So even in the midst of these things that he's putting you through, you know what I'm saying? He's building up your stamina. Yo, remember I told you every bit of light you got to hold on to. Because this world is full of darkness. It literally is. So he's building up your stamina. And that's something I got to come to grips with also. I don't want to pull my precept that I got just yet. I want to finish. I'm breaking this down.
God. My bad. Like I said, every time I read this scripture, it hit me a certain way. Just think about just all the stuff that I've been through in my life. You know what I'm saying? Where we at? Verse 8?
God, verse 8. Yeah, we just completed that out of one. Keep going.
Yeah, read.
Verse 9. He hath enclosed my ways with hewn stone. He hath made my paths crooked.
Right. Like I said, man, it just seemed like everything you're trying to do is just not a straight arrow, man. It's just you're gonna have to go left, you're gonna have to go right, right? Everything that's going on is just it's not straight how you expect it to be, right? Keep reading.
God, verse 10. He was unto me as a bear lying in wait, and as a lion in secret places.
Read.
He hath turned aside my ways and pulled me in pieces. He hath made me desolate.
And it feel like you just don't exist because you're praying, you're trying to stay on the right path, right? And you asking the Most High, like, yo, I need your help. And it just, like I said, it just feel like he's pulling your body into pieces, man. Like you just break down and you just don't want to be around nobody. You don't want to talk to nobody. But jump to verse 19.
Verse 19. And it reads, remembering mine affliction and my misery, the wormwood and the gall.
Right. And as you just going through all these deep thoughts, you remembering everything that you've been doing, right? Your afflictions. You just don't know what to think of it. You know what I'm saying? So like I said before, you know, there's been plenty of times where I've gone into my corner and just boohoo cried because I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? Keep reading.
God, verse 20. My soul hath them still in remembrance and is humbled in me.
Right? Read.
This I recall to my mind. Therefore have I hope.
And that's the thing. Yo, I've said this numerous of times. I've been in 5 motorcycle accidents. 5 of them. I've had blood clots in my chest where if one of the clots was just over just a millimeter, I wouldn't be talking to y'all today. And you know, we go through a lot of stuff, and sometimes we forget the things that sometimes we forget the things that the Most High has done for us. It's a fact. You know, and we got to recall that. We got to remember that, so we can have hope.
I remember when I first met you, man. Met your mom. She came out to Atlanta, and I think I told the story before. And she told us that you wanted to come, but you couldn't make it because you was dealing with. I think you was dealing with the aneurysm at that time.
The blood clots, yeah.
Blood clot. Hey, I didn't even really know you like that, but we prayed for you, bro. Like I think me and Kanal, other brothers, we prayed for you, and the Most High brought you out of that. And shoot, we've been rocking with each other for 6 years, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And the Most High has kept you and preserved you. So I just wanted to say that, man, because I know that you tearing up and getting emotional. I want you to breathe a little bit. Most High, you know what I'm saying? Real quick, let me get because somebody said something. I think Azariah said this. Let me get Romans 8 and 24 and 25. Oh well, I want 24 for sure.
God. It's the book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 20, starting at 24 out of 1.
Yeah.
God. For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for?
Hey, listen, man. And the thing about it is, you've been through it. You've been through it. We've all been through it. We've all had our own personal stories and testimonies about, you know what I'm saying, how the Most High brought us through. So we can't stop now. We can't give up hope now. You know what I'm saying? We just got to be thankful.
That's right.
We got to be thankful every day, every morning. You know what I'm saying? When I'm not even thinking, I need to be thankful. But we brought out earlier, we can never praise or exalt the Most High God enough. Why we depressed, man? Why we sad? Why we, you know what I'm saying? If them ain't tears of joy, you know what I'm saying? If them, man, I'm telling you, bro. How many times you done made it to Atlanta and made it to feast days?
Say it again.
You could. How many times you came to Atlanta and made it to feast days?
Yeah, this past 6 years, man.
Hey, listen, I ain't trying to put your information out there in mind either. But how many times when you thought you couldn't make it because of financial reasons or whatever reasons, and you still made a way?
Yeah, gone. A lot, man.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, listen, man. I don't know about you. Like, hey, everybody, man, throw them the water your hours in the chat once again, man. Thank the Most High.
Water Yahweh. All praises.
For his mercy.
All
for
praises.
his testimony. You know what I'm saying? Think about what the Most High God has done for you, man. You know what I'm saying? Throw them the water your hours in the chat.
Water Yahweh.
I just want to give you a time to just relax a little bit, man. That's all.
God. Got a precept out of one real quick. The book of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. You've been accepted, Adawan. You've gone through, man. We've all gone through. We're in the place where we're at right now because we had to go through our tests and trials. And we still got many more trials to come, man. That's how we know that the Most High is accepting us in the positions that we're in. You know what I'm saying? First Peter, Adawan, Aharon, if you could grab for me First Peter 1 and verse 7 real quick and read that. You're being tried through that fire, Adawan. Like, I feel your pain. Sometimes it feels like that. You know, I've been there. Sometimes it feels like that. But nonetheless, the Most High looked on you and said, you know what? I'm going to bring him through that and then some. And I'm going to still do things for him because this is one of my beloved. I believe that wholeheartedly. Adawan.
And
Hey,
it's,
bring that out, Adawan.
It's not just me. It's, everybody else too, man.
Kind. I believe that wholeheartedly. Bring that out, Adawan.
Book of 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 7. That the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Mashiach Yahweh.
Enough said. That says it all right there, because that's what we're aiming for. At the end of the day, that high calling, that high mark, Christ, man. That's what we want. So when we go through these tests and these trials and it feels like the world is bearing down on us, just as men alone, we're going to come up out of this thing, man, because we serve a greater power. That high calling, man. I yield. And that goes for any man that's out here listening to that, man. Don't get down on yourselves. You're going to go through it. You're going to go through it. But go through it.
Now, I'm end up closing this. I got a couple scriptures and we're going to close out. How do we get out of this? How do we get out of depression, right? Give me Romans 15 and 4. And I've said this, that we have to go and look at the times of old, right? And see how they dealt with things. And we have to pray to the Most High, man. Got to pray to the Most High.
Right.
Go ahead.
God, this is the book of Romans chapter 15 and 4, and it reads, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
Everything that we've gone through, there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. So we have to go to these scriptures and have patience. I know we live in a society where everything is like this. Instant gratification. I even fall victim to that. And we have to be patient. we got to be patient with this, man, with this walk that we in. You know, like I said, man, we have to call our brothers, call our sisters, call somebody you can trust. Godly brother, godly sister, you know, have those two heads, because the 2 or 3 heads is better than one. Right? Give me Acts 20 and 32.
The book of Acts, chapter 20 and verse 22. 32. Salakia. And now, brethren, I commend you to Yahweh and to the word of his grace, which is able to build you up and to give you an inheritance among all them which are sanctified.
This word is going to build you up, man. You got to constantly stay in this word, right? You got to constantly gather yourselves together, right?
Mm-hmm.
It said to build you up and to give you an inheritance. We got an inheritance waiting for us.
John.
Right? You got to look at that as well, man. Look what the Most High has promised to us as a people, as his people. Right? I'm not saying there should be no reason why you should feel depressed, but if we're patient and we're looking at the future of where our people are going and where they're going to be, there should be no reason why we depressed. You understand what I'm saying?
That's right, God.
Right. And like I said, we got an inheritance, man. And this is my last scripture right here. Go to Hebrews 10 and 35.
God, it's the book of Hebrews, chapter 10 and verse 35. And it reads, cast not away, therefore, your confidence, which have great recompense of reward.
God, you have to stay confident no matter what you do. Like I said earlier, man, you're going through what you're going through and you want to go get in your little, the corner. We can't do that. You know, somebody said to me one day, when I teach you, I teach myself. Right? When I teach you, I teach myself. And everything that I'm telling y'all, I have to go do as well. Right? So I can teach the next person on how to do it. Right? Read that again.
God. Verse 35. Cast not away, therefore, your confidence, which have great recompense of reward.
Right? Our confidence is going to keep us here. Our confidence is going to keep us sane.
Mm-hmm.
Our confidence is going to give us a reward. Right? I'm not saying go out there and be cocky. No, that's not what I'm saying. Right? But don't be going out there moping and just feeling down. You know, just remember, like the Most High he got your back, man. He got our back.
Right.
Right? He got our back. You know what I mean? And we're gonna have a reward at the end of all this, man. You know, and man, I hope y'all learned something today, man. That's my lesson. You know, y'all got anything you want to add to it?
Man, mighty lesson, man. I'm in school.
I got
some out. Go ahead.
Pull yours.
Okay. Kind. Jeremiah chapter 29 and verse 11. Classic.
That was one of mine. But go ahead. You got
it. That's the spirit out of why.
The book of Jeremiah 29 and verse 11. For I know the thoughts that I think of you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you expected end.
That expected end is the kingdom, ladies and gentlemen. I admonish you, man. Always know that the Most High has you in his best interest. He wants to give you the kingdom. It's his pleasure to give us the kingdom. We just got to turn to him. In these times when we feel down, in these times when we feel like we're going through, and sometimes we don't want to get up in the morning and do anything. He has an expected end. We got to make that effort. Remember this lesson, man. This is a very powerful and passionate lesson, man. I admonish y'all, get in these scripts, remember these scriptures, man, apply them to your life, and let's get the kingdom at the end of the day. I'm going to pull that Daniel 7 and 18 here.
Oh, that brother just said, no, my precepts, huh? Let me get 2nd Esdras 14 and 14. Let me get that real quick.
2nd Esdras chapter 14 and verse 14.
Yeah, get that 16.
God. 14 and 14, and it reads, let go from thee mortal thoughts, cast away the burden of man, put off now the weak nature.
Hey, weak nature, right? The thing that's dealing with our flesh, thing that's going to destroy us, whether it be dealing with depression, anxiety, falling into our lust, whatever it is, those are weak natures for us. It's telling us to put that off of us. Go ahead.
And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times.
So we got heavy thoughts that weigh us down. But the scripture is saying, yo, flee from these times, flee from these thoughts, flee from that spirit that's attacking you. Go ahead.
For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter.
You got to understand. You have to understand also, Jacob's trouble is still coming. There's a lot of things that we got to deal with, right? That the Most High is really battle testing us through our emotions, through spirits, through health scares and issues. Yo, we gotta learn how to cook food again, not eat out all the time. We gotta learn how to deal with things without running to the bottle or to the pills. Like we gotta learn how to deal with each other. That's why the Most High gives us Passover and tabernacles and time for us to spend with one another. We gotta learn how to deal again. You know what I'm saying? Because there's gonna be worse times that's gonna come. And we gotta deal with those worst times that's coming. If you're not spiritually, mentally, physically prepared for the times that's gonna come, what you gonna do? You're gonna fold. You're gonna fold when the demons just abundantly way more than they are coming right. You're gonna fold. If you don't take the life lessons that the Most High is teaching you right now, stay strong. You can make it. Get through this. You know what I'm saying? It's something else I wanted to hear. I'll skip over that. Romans 8 and 18, I'll read this myself, right? It says, I reckon that the suffering of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. So the things that we deal with right now is not even worthy to be compared to the glory we'll get at the end of the day once we get through it. You know what I'm saying? Revelation 21 and 4 says, and God shall wipe away all tears from my eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And we're going to get to that point in the kingdom where all of those things will be like a bad dream. You know what I'm saying? We never have to die again according to what the scriptures say. We never going to be in a better state according to what the Most High God is saying to us. You know? And Hebrews 6 and 15, it says, and so after he had patiently endured, he had obtained the promise. So patience, enduring, you can obtain this. We can get, you know what I'm saying? Keep pushing forward and stay strong, y'all. I get it.
God, Shalaki, real quick, brother Jason, man. I want to say I don't know you personally, man. And if I do, I apologize. I just don't recognize the name. If you're in our congregation, send one of us a message. But if you're not, send us an email at AnointedHOS@gmail.com, and brothers will reach out to you, so you have some people to talk to about it and see how we can help with the situation. Send us an email. Slack you. Send us an email. We'll definitely reach out to you. I'll put it in the chat.
AnointedHOS@gmail.com. You say you put it in the chat?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, brother. Definitely reach out to us, man.
Yep. So yeah, man, that's my lesson. I hope y'all learned something. Depression is a killer, man. It'll hurt you, man. It'll hurt you bad. So call your brothers, call your sisters, get with godly men and godly women, so we can all help each other in the right direction, so we can get out of this, man. Get out of this depression. Get out of this slumber, this sleep. It's time to wake up out of sleep, man. Right. So I'm your Captain Shaquat, man. Who we got?
Ron.
And Soldier Kowal. We in this thing.
We in this thing. We ain't going nowhere.
God.
Hey, Shalom, man. Y'all have a good rest of y'all Shabbat.
Hey, let's get that Daniel 7:18.
Yeah, get the Daniel 7:18, man.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and 18, and it reads, "But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever." By Shema Mashiach Yahushua.
Shalom.
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 This is not a test.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, 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 black music, black music, black music, black music, what up, black music, black music.
Oh man, did you understand?
In the
Damn, it won't in.